Marie Saleem is paying a visit to her good friend and dive master, Mustaq Hussain. The two went diving together in the early 90s. Mustaq often took along his inventions. This one, the first ever underwater camera created in the Maldives.
It is just like a circus, 20 to 30 sharks swimming around you. It is very exciting.
That's how it was. Sharks thriving in the Indian Ocean. 26 species of them. Years later, Mustaq took his camera to some of the same waters. He came back with nothing.
Very rarely you find sharks these days. It's not fished in a sustainable way. It is saddening.
30% of the world's shark species are threatened or near threatened with extinction.
Sharks are animals that give birth to very few young. That makes the shark very vulnerable to overexploitation. 100 million sharks are taken out each year from our waters, and that's a lot.
Shark fin soup dates back to the Ming Dynasty. It's long been a luxury item in China. In 2001, the shark fin trade was at its all-time high. The demand for sharks insatiable. The numbers taken out of Maldivian waters were staggering.
Maserikan gawagotaki ni fashagen iruga annekin eti demehetteni maserikamakan eti qurani kongota katto noniya miyaru beeni mami annani miyaru merumaki konkala kamekka miyennun kanne ge rajega maserin boda balani ki abadu.
If you don't know why you're stopping the shark fishery, it's difficult to enforce it. People will say, why shouldn't I do it? It's important that people go out to these areas and talk to these people.
Hama kuda kujjaka enage mamma muhimmu wahen gaagandaka faraki buna vidana ek gotaka bunanya menage mamma ei kaan anna boduma seite atla ganna bondi muraka darawade filuma.
It's important that we make sure that the apex predators, because they are fewer in numbers, that they don't go extinct. Without sharks, the balance is going to go in the oceans.
Himavatta badairuga miyaru maduwe gina vedana ithuru bawatteken horedana den e gota badairuga.
For years, Marie and her team compiled research, building bridges between the government and fisher folk, finally bringing a compelling case to the Maldivian government.
Being Maldivians, we've always had traditional management systems in place, and now with the increase in population and the demand for these species and resources, we've had to, put these measures on paper.
And there it was. On March 15, 2010, the Maldives banned shark fishing. The entire country is now a shark sanctuary.
While we can't do very much about what's outside our waters, I think what we do in the Maldives is very important. These sharks, they migrate between our waters and the Indian, Sri Lankan, and towards the west. They migrate so much that we need to protect them at a wider area.
Marie realized the problem went beyond the borders of the Maldives. In 2013, she took her case to the CITES Convention in Bangkok to ensure international protection.
There were some countries that were trying to not put them on the list so that they could exploit them easier. So it was a bit of a struggle, but the awareness we created had changed the minds of a lot of people, and it was really exciting to see the outcome.
Marie's devotion to the Maldives' fragile paradise doesn't stop with sharks. In 2000, Marie and her husband, Thomas Lebert, co-founded Seamark, which addresses the Maldives' environmental problems. One focus is coral reef propagation.
It's the reef sharks that rely on coral reefs. They're quite territorial. Their food is there, they're sheltered, that's their home. In 1998, we had a very extensive coral bleaching incident which wiped out our shallow reef. It went from about 98% to about 2% in a lot of areas. It usually takes about a decade for these reefs to come back.
I'm trying to do something about it already.
When we talk about the Maldives going underwater because of sea level rise, if the reefs were not impacted, if they were able to grow healthily over time, when the sea level is rising slowly, they'll keep up with it. For Maldives, it's very important that we keep our reefs healthy and resilient.
Well, natural reefs have suffered due to the impact of climate change. Thomas and Marie have been building new reefs that spawn sea life and provide habitat.
Here, it's one of the first structures we put in the water. It's grown so much that you can see it on Google Earth as well.
The life there will flourish more, and there'll be more corals for fish to live in. You know, there are more ideas to make life better for the things that are living here and to save them.
Down the line, I hope that we're passing the message to the younger generations that will actually grow up with these things in their head so that they don't need to think about something, they don't need to read it somewhere. These things should be instilled in these kids when they grow up.
Education, an important aspect of Marie's work. She and Thomas helped to build 2 marine discovery centers. Here, students take field trips to learn about their very own Indian Ocean.
Some of them have snorkeled for the first time, and it's really, really amazing to see their reaction when they see corals, the fish. For them to see the whole reef system, you know, alive with fish and invertebrates and all the colors, it's amazing to see their faces.
Children will come away teaching their families about sharks. They'll also realize that 1 in 1,000 turtle hatchlings make it. Slim chances. This green turtle was stuck on a big fishing net.
So this is Saleem.
These turtles will be re-released into the wild. We can now monitor their progress as they explore the Indian Ocean.
I'm doing my best to try to be part of these projects that could make at least a small difference to these populations, the sharks, the turtles. In a country like the Maldives, where we rely so much on the pristine nature of the environment, there has to be somebody there to try to, you know, protect and conserve a little bit.
By way of Marie's work, sharks will once again find their place in this vulnerable ecosystem, and the sea will still provide. For outstanding island environmental achievement, the 2013 Seacology Prize is awarded to Marie Saleem of the Maldives.